So, how have you been, Twinster? You
I don't
feeling
know.
a Christmas spirit?
I actually did feel a bit festive the other day. I put on I was so still working from home, and put on a Christmas playlist while I was working. Although, so I a Christmas play like Christmas songs to me is I prefer the likes of just anything pre. I'm gonna say pre 2000. Is that
Yeah.
really just
Although
because we have?
we
I
do
was
like
gonna
that.
say,
We do like 8 Days of Christmas,
oh,
Destiny's
I
Child.
completely,
That's a
yeah,
tune.
that's
But I
obviously,
know
and
what
there
you
are,
mean.
but so that's like my preferred Christmas tune. So my favourite is A Spaceman Came Travelling, Christopher. That's like my
Oh, that
favourite
one's
Christmas
shy.
song.
I
Are
hate
you
that one.
serious? I
Yeah.
love
It's
that
so moody.
song.
I can't do the
Oh my,
moody.
no, I love it. There's and another one I really like is oh, it played the other day and I was like, I actually do really. Oh, they said there'd be snow at
That's
Christmas.
depressing as well.
Just
I
love
believed
it.
in Father Christmas. They're so moody. I prefer the ones like, I just to like. Well, I think Last Christmas is always going to be like my
Oh
favorite
yeah,
ultimate Christmas song
absolutely.
because I
Yeah.
still remember thinking that the music video of Wham at that ski lodge and all their jumpers. I was like, that is Christmas, like in my head.
So festive, no,
Like I feel
definitely.
like the 80s in my head was the most Christmassy period of the world
Yeah,
of life. So I feel like
that's
that was
what
a
was
good
peak
one.
Christmas. That's what we've been trying to recreate
Oh,
in our lives.
ever, yeah, ever long,
Yeah.
ever onwards. Yeah, that one, and I like, I like all the, I do like the, I don't like Wizard. I wish it could be Christmas every day because I think the
Oh, I like
sentiment
that.
sounds nightmarish.
Oh no, it's gonna be awful.
Yeah,
But it's no, but it's a good. I enjoy that one.
I like
I'm trying.
Shakin' Stevens.
Yeah,
That's a bit of a
I
jam.
do. I am all for Cliffmas as well. I do like a Cliff
Yeah,
Richard
see,
Saviour's Day.
Mike was speaking pure venom about Cliff
Oh
Richard Christmas
really?
songs the other day, going like, I just can't. And I was like, that to us, Cliff was
Oh no,
Christmas.
he's Christmas, isn't he?
Yeah.
What was do you know? I really don't like uh, and it's probably because of what it just like the amount it's been played and stuff like that. But Mariah Carey,
And yeah, I knew you were gonna say I
it's
don't
just
like that
not.
one.
I'm just like if when that's what I'm like so willing to skip, and I think it's because it's one you hear so much. Whereas like on the radio, like you don't get Christopher on
You
the.
don't get as much Christopher. You don't get Gaudete, which is a jam.
That is
Yeah,
also I love like Feliz Navidad. That is
that's
very
another
I love
tune.
that.
I only ever I heard that song for the first time last Christmas.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I
It
don't
was,
know how
I'm
I
sure.
missed it, but
So I wonder if my like so love of Christmas songs and like being a bit not so into the ones that like are the more recent ones is down to the Pigeon family Christmas tape and that was played whenever we'd do that trip to Nottingham in many years ago,
yeah,
the annual trip for Grandpa's birthday.
yeah,
So I feel like that they're real Christmas songs, and anything after that, like I don't like, and it's really it's a very
sacrilege.
snobby of me, like because it's
No,
not
I have the
because there
same
are
thing
really
though.
good. Do you know
Yeah.
what's? Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say I have the same thing, but I've recently my mind was changed by stuff like I think that song by The Darkness. I count that as a good
Oh no,
Christmas song
well this
now.
is why when I said pre 2000, the reason I was a bit dubious when I said it is because that I don't know that must be like 2005 if not earlier,
Yeah,
but no, but post
earlier
and
probably,
and
but yeah,
that is
it's a
a
good song.
that's a Christmas song in its own right,
It
and I feel like
definitely
it's had
gets
its place in the
yeah,
canon.
and I like
I'm
that Killers one. That Don't Shoot Me Santa. Me and Livy were
I've not
talking
heard
about.
that.
It's
I've
actually
not
really
heard
good.
that.
It's got all the good parts of a. It's like a good Christmas song, and it's not
Right.
too. It's not like. Would you remember that? You know that Coldplay one, like Christmas
No.
Lights or something. It's so bad, even for Coldplay. It's like
I
not a
will
good
tell
one.
you what's recently entered the canon for me, and this is I'm contradicting what I've said before, but because of how often I've heard it, and it almost seems like over the like it's been consistently played throughout since its release throughout the years. It's a Kelly. Sorry, I barked, but Kelly Clarkson Christmas. You
What's
know,
the Kelly Clarkson
um,
one?
na, 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 da, 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 da. I don't know any of the
That
words.
sounds to me like Mariah Carey.
No, I don't know what it is, but I think so. That one's, as I say, that one's recently entered the canon for me.
Very
But other
nice.
than that, I'm like, not. No, I'm not. I skipped. Like I say, there were so many on this playlist I was on the other day, just skipping through. So many so I think Sia did a Christmas album, didn't she? And there was songs by Liam Payne of One Direction.
Yeah, people who've released whole Christmas albums, like that only worked for the Carpenters, mate.
Right.
Because I always think, oh, let's put on the Christmas music, it's time. Like, we were decorating the tree the other day and we put it
Lovely.
on. And then every other one, I was like, well, this isn't. I'm going to skip
Right.
this. Like,
Exactly. That
it's
was
not
me on this
real.
playlist.
It's actually not
Maybe,
that
maybe,
good.
yeah. So are you feeling festive?
Yeah, I think so. I'm feeling it's really odd. I'd like. There's also a sense of urgency of I just want the year to finish, even
I
though
get
I
you.
know that we do still have a lot of shit to come in
Mm.
January until spring, I guess. But I have a sense of urgency of like I just want to stop. Like I've got like a week and a day left of work, and I'm very eager
Mhm.
to get to the end of it, so I
Mhm.
could just like breathe and just
Right.
just stop
No,
for a bit.
I agree. I think
I
as
feel
much as
tired, man.
yeah, as much as it's not going to go it won't turn midnight on 1st of January 2021 and everything won't go it's all gone, it's all over. Like there's
Everybody
obviously got to
hug and
tick up.
kiss each other.
Right. But it does feel there's a I suppose there's a the year being over is an indication that we're that much further, that much closer to hopefully
That
things
the
getting a
vaccine's
bit
been
better.
given to some people. Some
Yeah,
people have had the vaccine.
the first man to get it was someone called William Shakespeare. I was very confused when I was reading the article. I was because
That's oddly
obviously,
that's news.
yeah,
Is that
because
why he was given it?
I don't know, it was noteworthy, isn't it? I doubt he's ever had
Yeah.
a time in his life where someone's seen his name and not been like, oh,
Oh, I've tried to get festive today. I've got this is mulled cider,
oh, very nice.
and I put on this jumper that I thought was a little bit more festive than a normal one, but I'm burning up because it's
Oh,
very
really?
woolly.
Oh, do you know what? We had a Christmas jumper day at work on Friday, and I actually had to borrow it because I don't have a Christmas jumper, and it's Louis Theroux wearing a Santa hat, and
Nice.
I was thought to myself, oh, I'll wear it today, but no, that's not happened. Like, I'll be honest, I can't be bothered to retrieve it, so
Yeah, we
just
got
picture
some
it. Yeah.
Christmas to come. So, Maddie didn't watch The fucking Crown. Uh, so
Do you
she's
know what
got
I
some
have been?
time.
Do you know what I've been
What have
watching
you been
instead?
watching? What? Is this going
I've
to
been
anger me?
watching I've been watching Modern Family.
You've
But I've
seen it!
watched
You've fucking seen it!
and Curb Your Enthusiasm. Those two things.
Oh, yeah, I've been binging on Curb. I think I finished it now.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Have you
it
been
was a good
watching it? Have you
watch.
been watching it on Now TV?
Yes, you have been messing up where I am.
Oh,
It's alright, I found it in the end. But yeah, so Maddie hasn't watched The Crown, but she will one day, and then we'll talk
I
about it. And it
will.
won't be topical, but she'll have watched it, and it'll be great, and it won't be an anticlimax.
I
So
know.
we thought we'd do a festive, Christmassy Christmas episode of Christmas, and talk about a couple of films that we watch a lot over Christmas, and maybe some that are less favourable. I'll have to admit I've never seen stuff like Miracle on 34th Street or It's a Wonderful Life. I've actually never seen them, and they're not my Christmas movies. So we've gone for the
We've
ones we
got a bit out
actually,
there.
yeah, I suppose.
This first one we're going to talk about, I will say, so Christmas films, like your real Christmas films, I can't watch at any other time of year. This film I could watch throughout the year.
Yeah,
So,
agreed.
but yeah, the film, this first one we're going to talk about is Edward Scissorhands, which is a Christmas film because there's a
I mean,
Christmas party
you think of the Christmas bit at the end,
and
that
there's
when it all
snow,
kicks off and there's
and
snow.
exactly, and there's snow.
But in my opinion, it's the only Tim Burton movie I can still watch and not get very irritated by it. I think it's actually it's really good. I think everyone in it. I think the whole concept of it and that whole Pleasant Valley
Mm.
pastel coloured Miami looking crap. I really like the whole
Oh, it's
look.
wonderful. It's so. I think I was, do you know, because I watched it last night. But I was genuinely craving watching it. It wasn't like I wasn't. Oh, as you can, as evident, I'm lazy when it comes to being told to watch things. But I think like so with Tim, I think other Tim Burton's that have like Nightmare Before Christmas. That's
I mean,
good.
I like that movie, but I can't really watch it. Like, I've seen Edward Scissorhands a lot, and I still
I
don't really get
guess,
sick of
yeah.
it. I still think it's really funny, and
I
I think the
think, like
people
you
in it are
say, like
hilarious.
the style of Edward Scissorhands, like with that, like the color palette of it is it's just, it's fantastic. It's so visual. It's such a visual film. It's like not relying on it.
Yeah, and like the sort of grotesque suburbia sort of like my
Mm.
favourite in it is I can't. You'll remember her name because you've seen it more recently. The one with the one who wants to. She's a divorcee and she's a bit like toxic and she's got
Oh,
those
Joyce,
nails that are amazing. Yeah, and the
Joyce, yeah.
hair. And she's my favourite because she's just like literally everything gross
She
about
like
suburbia
of
in
like
her.
toxic of like the toxic elements of communities like that, where it's
Yeah,
like really like
it's almost like a
clicky.
John Waters character or something. It's
Do you
like,
know what?
yeah,
That is so true, and I think that you could say that of quite a few of the characters. It's some of the way, or even like the visually how those characters are like, especially as well after like Edward does their haircuts. There is something quite John Waters-esque about it,
well,
isn't
because I
there?
guess it's just like the trashy, isn't it? Like they're quite
Mm.
trashy,
Oh,
which
but
is good.
it's just so yeah, it's so nice to look at as a film.
Hmm. And
And
Vincent Price,
oh yeah,
bit of Vincent
yeah,
Price.
very weird, isn't he? To be honest, I don't really know Vincent Price beyond that. And isn't he like wasn't he quite a big part of like the Hammer horror franchise of films?
Yeah, I've seen the original House of Wax with him,
Hmm.
and
I think
I
I
do
have
like
actually.
that. That's quite a good movie. I mean, it's like
But
odd, but
but
good.
he's perfect in as the inventor, isn't he? Like it's a real. I as well was sorry. It's not once again. I feel like I've completely gone against that. Like there being any structure. I suppose we're just having a chat, aren't we? So it's
Let's
fine.
just that's the style, man.
Alan Arkin in it.
Oh, see the dad.
He's the dad, and he's so excellent. He's so funny. I think
Some
he
of
was
his
one of the
lines are absolutely cracking. He like
yeah
just says some
yeah.
of the
He's
funniest shit.
so funny. And I think as well. Like I think best Winona Ryder's one of her like she's just I find her quite breathtaking in it.
Yeah, she really didn't want to do the film apparently
Oh
because
really?
she was like it didn't go with her aesthetic because it was she's like playing a blonde cheerleader, so she really didn't
Right.
want to. But I
Because
think
she's
Tim
yeah.
Burton was like it would be perfect because you don't normally, so we'll give you this like this wig and it will look all
Mm.
yeah. And I think Johnny Depp and her were like I don't know if they were dating at the time, but I did think he
It
kind
was
of convinced her a bit.
I think it would have been around that time if not because of it was I think 90 Edward Scissorhands came out in 1990 and that was definitely like
Hmm.
there around the time they were. But
Hot couple.
yeah, I just no, it's just I'd not watched it for such a long time, you know, before yesterday again, and it really does hold up. Like it's such a although I forgot the prosthetics they whack on Winona because she's the
Oh,
it starts off with her telling.
yeah, that bit at the end actually, I'm a bit like, this is a bit of a joke now.
Sometimes you'll still see
Yeah, it does.
that. Oh yeah, she does her.
Yeah.
The
Oh, and
soundtrack's lovely.
the Danny, is it Danny Elfman? I
Danny
bet.
Elfman, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is common.
It's no, it's. I think it's a really charming, lovely film. That's
Yeah.
just. I do. It's that thing now, isn't it, where you have to. I'm like, Johnny Depp's a bit of a. There are some issues there now.
We don't
However,
know. No one really knows.
that aside, it's no, I think it's a really like it's just yeah, I think wonderful is how I describe it.
Well, I get it's because he's like so he's a vulnerable like fish out of water, and it gives it's that same feeling I get like you know in the Grinch when Baby Grinch is climbing up the mountain because everyone's bullied him, and it almost like makes me sob like every
Oh
time.
no, it is. That is actually
It's
so
that feeling.
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and him being as well like he's just such a I feel like Edward is just a very like good-natured,
He does
or
that
just very,
face.
yeah. His it's what I've got so Peg, uh, Avon Lady Peg, who comes and
Oh, she's fabulous. She's great.
she's wonderful, and I think because I don't know what it is for me. I think what really like touched me, and I've definitely felt this before when watching it, but I definitely like watching it again last night. Felt it is that the real they're specifically Peg and Bill, who's the dad, so Alan Arkin, their unquestioning acceptance of Edward, like that they just he comes. I think I just love the fact as well that you get so Peg does her is Avon ladying and meets and finds Edward and thinks, oh, I need to look after him. He's obviously very vulnerable, so that immediately is a like she's noticed that he's vulnerable. She's not scared of him. She's taking him in, and then you don't even get to see. So the first scene with um, Bill and Edward is when they're having dinner together, and so you don't even see like their initial meeting, which to me was like an indication of what it was such a non-event because he was probably just like, oh hi Edward, like just
Peg's brought home another.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it's just like so there seems to be a real like acceptance and love like in that family within that kind of not as nice community.
Yeah, you're meant. Well, I guess you're meant to see them as the ones who are the nicest because you've got because
Mm,
everyone else is just a fucking two-dimensional nut, aren't they? Because you've got like the
mm.
crazy church woman with the
Oh yeah.
organ. You got the
Yeah.
you got Joyce who is like,
Mm,
well, she's to me she's a goddess, but there's Joyce who's obviously a bit of a cougar type, and then you've just and all the other like gossipy women and
mm.
everything, and then who else? I mean, yeah, it's all inept policeman, that horrible
Yeah.
boyfriend of Winona
Oh
Ryder's.
yeah, he's awful. That bit where they take him to what's her? I've forgotten what Winona Ryder's boyfriend's called in
It's
it.
Billy or something, isn't it? It's always
Billy.
Billy
Yeah,
or
something
something
like that.
like that.
But like takes him to his house and like gets him to like break in and
Oh yeah, and he's got
yeah,
that little
and he's just
cap
like,
on. He's got that little
oh,
like.
it's so
It's
precious.
so charming. Oh,
It's so precious. It's just
it's good.
and I think as well the ending of it is
I mean, he kills him
I
though, doesn't he?
ultimately kills
Edward kills the boyfriend quite
boyfriend,
vicious.
and
Yeah,
then he's kept, and then he stays in there, but then obviously stays there and makes ice sculptures of Kim and so on, and that's why it snows.
that's the story. That's the
That
all it is about is finding out why it snows. I mean, that's
yeah,
quite a long roundabout
although
way.
do you want to talk about our next Christmas film
Yeah, we're swiftly
that we
moving on.
like?
Yeah. Am I doing? Are we talking about Love Actually?
Yeah, let's talk
Yeah.
about Love Actually.
Which I still watch, and me and Mike used to
Yeah.
watch it every year. Mike's now since become cynical, and he cannot watch films like this anymore.
Oh
No,
really?
I mean we can watch. Well, no, I even like the other day. He did used to like Bridget Jones, even though he'll deny it.
I
And I was
that's
like, I
actually
fancy Bridget Jones, and he was like, well, no, it just doesn't. He doesn't feel it anymore. But if it's got
really.
Hugh Grant in it, I'm there. I think Hugh Grant is. I
Oh,
love him.
I love Bridget Jones. I'd also put that in like a similar category as like Edward Scissorhands in that it is it could definitely you could regard it as a Christmas film,
Yeah, I
but it's
think
not all
so.
year
But Love
round. Well,
Actually is definitely. It's all about the build up to Christmas,
oh,
isn't
Love
it?
Actually is it's a complete Christmas
It's
film. I
purely a
could watch
Christmassy.
it
It's
any
all
other
the
time of year.
countdown of yeah. It's like 4 weeks until 3 weeks until. But yeah, I could still watch it now, and I think it's
Hmm.
got a lot of like. Well, it had quite a lot of big people in it. I remember when it came out; it was a huge deal.
I think it might have been one of the first films of its type that like did the like so big
Stories that
ensemble
cross
cast, but
over.
stories that cross over and like and things like that. And so I think actually I think it's been I've not seen these films, but is there something called I think there's something called Valentine's Day.
Oh, they churn them out now. There's a New Year's
Yeah,
Eve one. There's
I think
yeah.
these have been identified as a really good because having those but I think Love Actually being like as far as I'm aware like one of the first films. Is it Richard Curtis?
Yeah, it's definitely
Like
like a sort of British film, like all that creative, like working title and everything like that. But it's
right.
yeah. But there are still some bits that are I don't know. What's your favourite story in it? Is there one that
Hmm.
you actually follow and you like, or is there one that drives you mental?
Um, I mean, I did. So the one I really enjoy watching and like warms me, not warms me heart. I was just going to say warms me,
I thought you were going
and
to
then
say
I went to
warms
say
me hard.
warms. Well, it's the Martin Freeman and Joanna Page. The
Yeah.
porn. Oh, like they're no, sorry, it's not porn. Is it porn or are they
I think they're just
like
stand-ins for
nude
sex
stand-ins?
scenes, yeah.
And I that really I really like that one. It really like warms my
There's no peril,
heart.
really. They just
No,
get together,
it's
and
all just
it's
really
lovely.
nice, and it's so nice as well. It's so like sweet as well. This whole so they're getting to know each other while they're like being quite intimate with one another. And then it's just no, it's just really sweet. I really like that one. The bit that really sticks out to me as well is Martin Freeman warming his hands before he puts them
So
on.
that's it, yeah. That was a funny bit.
In terms of one that like, and this I think this is what the one that really stands out to me when someone's to love actually. Um, I think Emma Thompson and Alan Rickman, like that really that
Oh,
storyline is
that gets everyone, doesn't it? That
heartbreaking.
bit where she's crying in the bedroom to Joni Mitchell because he's fucked the office.
Oh, honestly, like talk about it now, just gave me chills. It is so
She's very good at, like, yeah, that bit is
just
heartbreaking.
really like, and it can I am I right in thinking does it like do they sort of carry like they stay together, don't they? She just sort of accepts that that's her husband gonna
Yeah,
surrender
because
her.
well, it's that bit at the end of the airport. He comes back and it's a bit cold, but she still says hello. But I don't know whether that means they're still together or like, yeah, it's a bit of a weird. But that's the bit where she like with the secretary who's meant to be like literally the ultimate like seductress,
Mm.
and she like she does what I think was a like it's not a very flattering position. She like talks about there being lots of dark corners to hide in at this place she decided for the Christmas party, and then she sort of slowly she sort of just lets her legs kind of drop open. And I don't think it's a very attractive move. And I don't think if someone did that to me, I'd be like, oh God, I'm in
Oh,
there.
I
I'm
mean, yeah.
gonna, yeah. But he
What
goes
other?
there.
No, he does, and it's um. I think well, because I think Alan Rickman does it well, doesn't he? Because you really like he still plays. He's likable, isn't he? But then you're obviously
He's just a
really like cut up.
stupid man, really.
Yeah.
Like, he's, yeah.
Um. Which one sort of stands out to you? What's your fave?
Um, I don't know. Some of them I just think are so, like, too desperately tragic, and I feel like that's, like, I don't need that in there. Like that one with, Laura Linney when she likes
Oh
that
my
Carl guy
gosh.
and she
Oh,
just
it's
can't be
so
with
yeah.
him, and it's
That's
just
really
and it just
sad.
ends fucking horribly.
Mm.
And then I find the one with Liam Neeson and the little boy a bit like I can't stand
Oh,
child
I,
actors really.
wasn't because uh the girl who sings "All I Want for Christmas" at the end.
Yeah.
Did she was she on X Factor or something?
Was she?
I don't know if I've made that up, but
Like
like
all
as an
grown up?
adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm the little
Um.
girl from Love Actually. Oh, they would have loved that, the producers, rubbing
Yeah.
their hands together. But no,
Yeah.
that one I find a bit like, because
Oh,
also it's
yeah.
like the dad, if in reality, like if I was the parent of that child and they were going like, well, I'm in love and I must get her because I'm in love, I'd be like, shut up, you little child. Like,
Yeah.
you're not in love. Like, you can invite her around for tea. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm not going
Also,
to go to the ends of the earth to
is
help
it?
you.
He's the one, isn't he? Where he's like leapfrogging over suitcases and stuff at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
He'd
not
get
bothered about that one.
tackled to the
Also,
floor,
that
really.
guy he's a grown man now. I mean, because I think he's in Game of Thrones as well. Looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's the Colin
Or Colin Firth.
Firth one. I really have to think
Before saying
before
Farrell.
saying Colin Firth and Colin Farrell. It's like this, I really struggle. I have to really concentrate when I have to talk about dishwashers and washing machines. I have to think, I'm putting it in the washing machine, clothes,
I don't.
a dish. Yes, dish. Anyway, but yeah, that one because he just seems. Is it like they don't really? They say she's Italian and he speaks English and he doesn't
Portuguese?
speak. Oh, is she? Oh, shoot. Is she? I think you're right.
She.
No. Yeah, no, I
I
think you're right.
think so.
She
But he's
speaks
in
another
France.
language. She doesn't
Mm.
speak any English. And then they sort of, and then yeah, I don't know why it annoys me that one. It's like it's not my fave.
Yeah, because you don't even feel sympathy. At the beginning when you find out that his girlfriend or whoever is having that affair,
Mm.
Which reminds me, do you ever get like just lines from certain things just get stuck in your head, like almost
Yeah.
like a song? I always get the line of her calling from the bedroom, going like, "Come on, big boy, I'm naked and I want you at least twice before someone gets home." And sometimes it just plays in my head. Because the way she goes,
Why?
"Come on, big boy," like it's really
Oh no!
weird.
Also, why is Colin Firth typecast as a cuckolded man?
Oh, I know. How would that make you feel? Literally. And Hugh Grant is always the guy who fucks. Like
Oh
every
yeah!
single thing.
He
He
does it well,
wins.
doesn't he? He does it well.
Oh,
Because because actually, say we weren't, but I did mention when we talked about before, About a Boy is another Christmassy film for me, and he smashes being the Bachelor, doesn't he? He does it so well.
it's his, yeah.
But yeah, sorry, back to Love Actually. I'm trying to think of other oh, there's I Martine McCutcheon's adorable.
Yeah. I do quite like that one that they end up together because that's quite
Yeah,
a nice, like, yeah. And you do like Hugh Grant as even though it's
yeah, it's the
ridiculous when
moment.
he does that speech. Oh, Billy Bob Thornton as the fucking president, and
Oh my god,
and when
I
they're doing the
forgot about
speech
that.
and like literally his speech saying like maybe our relationship isn't so special after all is just because he necked with his bird like like he was so angry that he made the move on Martine McCutcheon that he's like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck this special relationship right up because you've done that. I'm gonna
Yeah,
make a big
exactly.
speech, talk about Harry Potter and David Beckham, and yeah, it doesn't matter. Everyone's gonna applaud me.
Yeah.
It's just really
Oh,
odd.
no, it is. I think because is it that moment at the end as well where you find out that Emma Thompson's his sister and how they all like tie together.
Oh no, yeah, because in the middle, because she's like on the phone after all that's happened, and
Yeah.
she's like, "What the hell are you thinking?" It's like, well, I'm the best.
I feel like I might have to watch that again soon.
It'd
As
be a
it
good
is, yeah, because it's
Christmassy
been. I think it's
watch.
been a couple of years actually since I've seen it.
Hmm.
But no, I feel like that's another one that's really like. And I think, oh, as well, because it's the whole being framed around like Bill Nye, like doing a Christmas number one and stuff's like really,
Oh,
that's
that's a
very
really
enjoyable.
that's probably one of the best because that
Yeah,
ends, isn't it? That the great love of his life is his fat manager, who's
yeah,
been with him through thick and thin, and that's
yeah.
quite
It's
a nice
lovely. Yeah,
idea. So I quite
um,
like that.
yeah. So I think it all like that's one I think that's like, oh, another. I've completely forgotten the one that annoys me the most.
Oh, fucking sad dad Andrew Lincoln. By his fucking cue cards and fucking. Oh, that one is so infuriating. Because also at
Also,
the end, like, if I was her, I wouldn't be like,
oh,
oh god,
cute.
come on, give us a hug, you little. I'd be
It's
like,
very
you
mean.
sketchy little fuck, like, you never
See,
talk to me.
and as well, the watching when she's watching their wedding video, she's like, he may as well be zooming in on her tits, like,
It's quite creepy,
yeah.
but because it's him. But yeah, and because Dido plays as he runs out and zips
Oh,
up his fleece, you've got to feel bad for him.
um,
That's another.
no,
I do like that moment where he runs up. He's going past and someone's there holding their shopping, and he goes ah, and the person goes oh with their bags because they're quite frightened of him because he just screams. Do you remember
why
that?
does he scream?
Because he's very frustrated because he's just
Oh,
spoken to her and just left the flat, and so he just has her like ah, and this guy does the best acting of his life with his shopping bags. Jumps back. That's a good moment.
um, so I think I will say that with Love Actually, I think while there are like quite a few bits that annoy me and like, but there's almost I enjoy being annoyed by them
Yeah.
because
They're like tradition.
yeah, like this might I think this will be an unpopular opinion, you know.
People love this movie. I have seen this
People
movie
love
more than
this
once.
film.
I used to, you know.
I've seen it more than once. I remember the first time I watched it, I hated it, and I thought it was I hated it. The Holiday, I loathe it. I think it's not even so bad. It's good. It's just bad for me. I
Bad,
really
bad,
don't
bad.
like it.
Yeah.
And that's the end. That's all I've got to say about it.
No, it is
Can you
it's
watch
just
it and enjoy?
I
Like, is it
I
best?
used to be able to, but I actually like, and I think one of the main things that make me like, I think Cameron Diaz is one of the worst actresses of all time. I think it's it's good that she's retired and is just living normal life now, because she is terrible.
She seems a lovely woman. She
Oh, I'm
does.
sure she's great. I'm sure she's lots of fun.
But
I'm
I
sure she's
can't.
lovely.
No, I struggle watching. I think the only Cameron Diaz film I can stand to watch. I quite like There's Something About Mary.
Oh yeah, but that's because of that's the other people in it. That's the
Maybe,
supporting.
yeah.
That's the
But
funnies.
I can't. The hot. The, she kind. I think because she's Cameron Diaz and everyone. She's a.
Yeah.
She's. I just really struggle in this film as well. So I think. Right, where should I take? Because there are many elements that annoy me. Can I?
Well, maybe there's the concept of the fact that they just switch houses at the drop of a hat because they've had enough of their shitty lives.
Well, this is
And
it. I
yeah,
feel like I've never heard of that concept before.
no, I don't. I think you'd be
Like it's
very.
not like it's to do a house swap. Like with, I mean, no, I've heard of that, but like to go online and like do a, I'll live in your house for a week, you live in mine, like without any
I
background
barely
info or
fucking know
anything.
you. Yeah, live in my really
She
nice, fancy, expensive LA home, and you live in
and I
live
think
in the middle of nowhere in
well, this
England or
is it, and
whatever.
it's all and so I think the thing that really winds me up about it is a lot of it is they're by themselves because that's the whole thing. They want some alone time. They talk the way they talk to themselves while they're doing stuff. So even like while
Yes.
Cameron Diaz is typing, she's like, "Oh, your cottage looks lovely. I'd love to come and come." And that annoyed me. When
Yeah.
she arrives and she's like unpacking, she's like, "And my suitcase goes under the bed," and she's like, "And everything's just out." And it makes my blood boil. I find it so irritating, and it's so.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Even like Kate Winslet, who I think ordinarily she's a very good
Oh,
actress, she's great,
fantastic.
but in that she's just like
Oh,
you're
it's because
so
it's just cringe, isn't it?
irritating.
And it's just, and she's very, very like she's been very, very British and like oh. And I think actually it's interesting to note. I think you see Kate Winslet being like doing a different accent and being she's kind of Meryl Streep-esque in that way, in that she's wasn't. I can't think of that many films where she's like playing a British person with like a British accent and stuff.
No, yeah. I'm trying to think. To be fair, I'm only thinking at the moment. I can think Titanic or The Reader, both quite different, but
Yeah,
they're the two
and
that I'm
but Revolutionary Road is it, or is it just Revolution Road? Anyway,
I never
she's
saw that.
American.
Yeah.
It's just she just and yeah, I think she's just very like she's more bearable than Cameron Diaz in it.
Oh, definitely, because few people aren't. But
She's more
yeah.
bearable than I thought. Jude Law's annoying in it as well.
Oh, he is. Oh, he's really like the. I saw something today when I was scrolling through Facebook about like it was like a list of the things in films that are the least funny things in films that are meant to be funny. When he does Mr. Napkin Head for his child and just puts a
Oh,
napkin on and the glasses on, and she's meant to find it charming and be like, and also the fact that like he has kids and that means that she's like, oh, it means he's such a caring.
I know. I remember talking to someone about some like last year we were talking about and I was saying about the reasons I like really dislike it. Isn't there quite a cringy bit as well where the Cameron Diaz's character and Jude Law's character like sleep together? Like, isn't it really cringy? He like kisses her eyes and stuff.
Why?
Like her eyes are closed and he's like kissing her closed eyelids and stuff, and it's just too much.
Like Face Off.
Yeah, let me. Oh my gosh, I'm watching a clip of it. It's horrible.
Oh, it's meant to be romantic, romantical.
Yeah. But he's just like, it looks like he just doesn't know where her mouth is.
Because he's got a napkin on his head.
No.
Their whole story, like I really hate that her, like the thing is so cringy, and also just because like I feel like because Cameron, like because she's such a bad. I mean, I'm not trying to do it, so I'm not. But she's so terrible that you can almost see the cogs working of when she's trying to act like something or someone. That storyline of like, oh, I can't cry because I cried so much when I was a child, and now I'm just. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh well, it's really good for you that it's a role where you don't need to
Don't
cry
need to
because I doubt
cry.
you fucking could. Like, You're so.
She
I
just
just can't stand that.
it's just as well like she's just very I just I find her performances really annoying. Like
Very
she's just very
irritating.
like I just I can't I feel like I'm very aware at the moment as well of if it's being a woman trashing another woman, but I don't know. I really like. She's not good, is she?
I just, yeah, I don't think she's ever
I
been like.
really struggle to differentiate as well. Like I was thinking then, so I was trying to think of bits from the holiday, and then I thought, oh yeah, there's this scene. I was like, no, that's from another film she's in, but because she's so similar that you actually can't differentiate them.
Yeah, I don't really see. Yeah, I don't see the appeal. I mean, she probably works for that film. I can't think of anyone else who could have done that shitty role.
Yeah, I mean it's not a good like it's. I
What do you think
dislike
of
it.
What's your view on Jack Black in it?
Ugh, I could give or take him as well. The only
Yeah,
the person who I feel like's really let themselves down is Kate Winslet.
let herself down. Yeah,
And
people
actually,
love that movie, man.
she
People
sort
love
of
it.
she kind of saves it because she has that thing, doesn't she, for that? And he's called Jasper
Jasper,
because
British
that's what
Jasper.
yeah, Jasper.
Yeah.
Um, and that I feel a bit bad because she like gets him a present and stuff, and and she's before she's a good she can act, so that's fine. But beyond that, I'm just like
Oh
I'm
yeah, because she's
cringing.
kind of like there's the sad. She's really into this guy who
Yeah,
then announces his engagement, and she feels like pathetic because she's desperately still in love with him, even though he's a
you
bit of a
know, and
he's a piece of shit.
that gets me a bit. That's a bit,
Yeah, that was a
you
bit
know.
when he comes around as well, doesn't he? He shows up while she's there, and then she has the moment of like, no, not for me now. I've moved
Oh
on.
right,
I've
yeah,
got
with
Jack
Jack Black.
Black. I'm gonna
I'll
beat
be
you.
honest. How does it end? I can't remember.
It ends. They all meet up for New Year's.
All
It's a
four of them.
all four of them in for New Year's
Oh,
party,
that
and it's
sounds
Jude Law with
awful.
Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet with Jack Black, and the little children, child actors, the little children dancing around, and the music rises up, and there's sort of like lovely, happy, gentle chatter, and then the
Where
credits
are they? Are
roll.
they in the UK or in LA?
UK, I think.
I isn't it like I think I've obviously like blocked it out.
I mean, it all
I
just
don't need
ends
it.
like it ends how you think it's going to end because they end up
They're all
together.
together.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, people really like it, don't they? Like
yeah. I mean, I remember when I first watched it. I think I was more. I used to think rom-coms were like, oh, let's. As a previous film student, this is outrageous for me to say, but I used to just think rom-coms like, yeah, if you're gonna pick a movie, it's gonna be a rom-com, isn't it? Like, what
I
else
know
is there?
I am all for. I love a rom-com. I think it's a wonderful genre. I would argue it's the genre that got me into enjoying films when I was younger. I'm gonna
Just Married.
Just Married, Legally Blonde, like those were the first, and I was like, oh my god, I love these films. Like these are so. So I
I'm
think
invested.
it's such a wonderful genre that hasn't been done justice to for a long time.
No, it's kind of like falling out of like everything's a bit. I guess because everyone's a bit disillusioned about everything. I think at the moment
Possibly,
you can't really
maybe
get a good. I haven't
I
seen a good. And then there was that whole there was a run of like, and I feel like they're still making them of films of like, oh, let's make a film with a young teenage couple, and one of them is terminally ill. Let's make
Oh
sure at
my
least
god,
one of
why
them
are there
is
so many of those?
terminally
It's
ill
horrible. It's so
for
dark.
teenagers to watch. Like
No,
miserable
you're
shit.
right. That is a thing. Like it's horrible. Like
I
I
mean, we
just
had one when we were younger. We had that one with Mandy Moore
Walk to
with
Remember, Walk to
yeah,
Remember, and
which
what's his face who I think was on ER for a time, James something.
ah, quite handsome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but no, that became like a. I would. It's. Do you know what actually is interesting? Do you think I was having this conversation? I'd never seen Bring It On before.
I've never seen Bring It On.
Well, this is so. I eventually watched it. This was this is oh yeah, this was pre-COVID because I watched it with friends and we were in the same room as each other.
Mother of God.
Um, and I wasn't, and loads of people have liked this. I think it's a cult classic. Like people really like it, and I watched it and I was
Oh,
not that bothered.
underwhelmed. I won't
And
bother
I
then.
wonder if there's something I'm wondering. Would that have happened if I watched Legally Blonde now? I hadn't watched it when I was younger.
Um, Possibly, but I watched Legally Blonde again recently, and I think it's strong.
Oh no, this is the thing though, because we've watched it. I watched that. That gets a couple of watches a year from me.
Yeah, even the second one I watch.
Red, White, and Blonde.
Yeah, the bit where they do the dog.
She's getting rights for Bruiser.
Yeah, and they do the dog dance with all the legal interns,
Yeah.
and it's that bow wow wow yippee yay. Even though it's awful, I still find that funny. But yeah, maybe it's because we saw it when we were kids.
It's a great sequel. I think it's good.
Snaps for Al.
It's just, I know it's wonderful. Like, but I do wonder. But then I'm like, actually, no, I think I would have liked it. I can't say anything bad about it. Jennifer Coolidge, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, I think it's still really funny. I still enjoy it. And I love her video, her legal, I'm comfortable using legal jargon in everyday life.
I object. And then it says, I can remember details at a drop of a hat. Hey, El, do you remember what happened on Days of Our Lives?
The evil Stefano.
No, it's very, very funny. And but yeah, Bring It On didn't have the same, didn't really do it for me.
Maybe it is.
But yes, to sum up, rom-coms, it's a wonderful genre. It's just been completely butchered. Like it's no one's done it any favors for a while. I'm trying to think of the Bridesmaids might be the last thing that I've seen in like the.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's good. That's actually funny. Like I actually do.
It's so funny.
That's much better than a lot of others.
And I would call that a rom-com, I guess.
But then there are others that like I think like I would say they're rom-coms, but they're meant to be deconstructing a rom-com, and I really enjoy them. But I remember I always say to people, "Let's watch this," but because people think it is just. But I really enjoy Muriel's Wedding. It's amazing.
Muriel's Wedding.
So good. Yeah,
I really know that's no. I really
fucking great. And My Best Friend's Wedding. With
do you know why I like roll my eyes at that? And I'm gonna get so. You know, my dear friend Helen loves Julia Roberts.
Oh, I don't
and I
care
feel like
for her.
You don't care for Julia Roberts. I mean,
No.
she's no, I think she's alright anyway. But so I feel like I've been made to watch My Best Friend's Wedding a lot and like not been.
But she's a horrible person in it, isn't she?
It's a good cast as well, isn't it? It's Rupert Everett and Dermot. What's his face?
Gavin from Friends.
Yeah. What is his
name?
McDermott. Something McDermott. His name's not Dermot.
I've never known his name.
That's stupid. But no, that's so you see it's a deconstruction of a rom-com. Yeah,
because it's meant because she ends up with her love stories with her best friend. At the end of it, and they figure out, and he's literally like, you've gone fucking mental, you're chasing this guy across town, and they never end up together, and he does end up with the one who you think's going to be Cameron Diaz. But she is the basic bitch, isn't she? In it,
that's actually she's good at that. I think
she does fit that, but yeah, she was quite good in that. But no, I think it's good because it ends up with she's at the wedding, but she's figured out that she only wanted him because, and she was being quite unpleasant. And when she makes that phone call to Rupert Everett and it's on speakerphone and she's going like, I'm chasing him across fucking town, help me. Like, I think there's a lot of funny shit with it. No,
I think you're right though, it being like this, it not ending in a way that you'd necessarily like expect it to, or like all the fact like she's not 100%.
You really you don't like her all the way through.
Yeah, exactly. What would you say? Because I'm just thinking now. So like there are like the rom-com genre was so good. Like
you've got to watch Muriel's Wedding because it's
that's one.
And it's so Australian.
Oh
it's
really?
Like, fantastic.
Okay, I might have a look for that actually after we've done this because that sounds
very good.
And I love Toni Collette. There's something about
and there's
her.
so much ABBA music in it as well. It's like almost set to ABBA. It's like good.
So Pretty Woman, would you say that's kind of a...
I've never seen Pretty Woman.
Oh my god, that's actually one of my favourites.
Really?
That surprises me you've not seen it. It's I love it.
What's another one where I say to Mike, I've never seen it, let's watch it, and he goes, no, I've seen it so many times.
No, I love Pretty Woman. I think as well when they cottoned on to the fact that Richard Gere and Julia Roberts are like have that good on-screen chemistry, because then is it Runaway Bride? Is them as well.
Do you remember someone at school, because of Pretty Woman, said as a statement of fact, went, no, prostitutes never kiss. They never kiss. And it's like, I'm pretty sure like that's not like the hard and fast rules of prostitution according to Pretty Pretty Woman. And she was like, no, I know for a fact they don't.
Oh, Pretty Woman. She says they never. Is it when you don't kiss? Yeah. No.
Yeah, and I was like, I feel like there's probably a lot of nasty shit that prostitutes do that they didn't feature in that film. I'd rather watch Muppets Christmas Carol, man.
Yeah.
Again
I love Muppets
and
Christmas
again.
Carol.
Have you heard that they found you know, when I remember I've been watching it recently, and they've taken out the song that the love is gone when she's singing to Scroogey and he's crying and Michael Caine does his good old crying in the background like, why did you take me here, spirit, why? But they took it out apparently because Disney claimed that it would be too complex for children and it doesn't match and it's not jolly enough. So I think the Hensons were like, oh fine, if you say so.
Oh no, that's
but then they lost the original tape, so they couldn't ever put it back in, and they've recently found it, so they're going to release it with that in, and it's really exciting.
Oh, that song is
it's heartbreaking, man.
Also, as well, I'm sorry, why do they not? It's not that complex that he had. Also, it adds a whole other layer of
I think it was important when they took it out. I was like, why is Michael Caine singing this melody at the end that has no relevance to anything?
Oh, I love Muppets Christmas Carol. And I think as well, it was my first exposure to Michael Caine, and it was my first exposure to Christmas Carol, the story.
Yeah, same.
Like it was the actual story itself.
I always thought there were two Marleys for a long time.
Me too. We're Marley and Marley. Marley was dead to begin with. Which one though? Which one? There are two.
The Marleys were dead to begin with.
There we go.
The Marleys.
Actually, I just thought of a little link between what we've been talking about and Muppets Christmas Carol. Do you remember Kate Winslet releasing a song?
Yeah.
What if I could never let you go?
Would you still be? That was the animated Christmas Carol they did.
Yeah.
That I didn't bother with. If you've seen the best, screw the rest. I didn't see it.
Exactly.
No,
but that for me, I'm obsessed with the fact that happened. That's a culturally iconic moment for me.
It's up there with Richard E. Grant releasing a disco remix of a Shakespeare soliloquy like that. Have you seen that?
I was not aware of this.
Google it.
Okay. Richard E. Grant Shakespeare soliloquy.
Yeah, with
Disco
like disco club, like just something's pumping in the background while he's there, like.
That's balmy.
Yeah.
But that sounds brilliant.
It's pretty sick.
I'll probably rewatch the music video for that. Once again, Kate Winslet actually does a really good performance in that music video.
I don't hate her for it.
No, I don't. I think I watched an interview. Actually, I think Greg James brings it up to her in an interview. She's mortified. It's so funny.
She hates it
because apparently they really pushed her to it. Which was like, I believe all the money that was made from it. I'm not sure how much that would have been, but was given to charity. Like she didn't make any money off it herself. And I imagine royalties will still be tied to that because I think that's how she was convinced to do it. She was like, okay, but no, she looked really he started showing her the music video. And she was like, I hate you. This song.
It is really cringy. Like the video is very cringy.
I kind of love watching it because I love there's some cringe that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
So that's I think that's the crux of my issue with The Holiday. I don't enjoy the cringe that The Holiday gives me.
Yeah, there's nothing that's yeah. Whereas at least with. Well, like the song in Muppets Christmas Carol, the breakup song, it's cringe, but you're like the emotion.
So I wonder if it's just that one's just more emotional.
I mean, it always got me right. Even as a child, I was like, "This is right. This is just getting to me."
I think Michael Caine's performance in that is really good as well. Sorry, I sent us off on a right tangent there.
We really have.
Have you been watching? What else have you been watching recently? Have you watched any? Have you watched any TV specials of because the Christmas episodes of TV shows can be.
Oh yeah, I rewatched. I rewatched the That 70s show one the other day, which I'm quite fond of. They do a lot of them, but it's an early That 70s show one where they're having a party in the basement and they get what's her name, the sister Laurie. She pours a load of rum into the punch for their party that Kitty's made, and they're just drinking beer, but all the cheerleaders and Jackie drink it, and they're all crying and saying God blesses everyone, and Red just takes a sip from it and goes, lousy with hooch.
I do remember.
I think their
God,
ones,
watched
their
that 70s show
Christmas
for
ones
so
are good.
long. I loved that.
Yeah, and they do cracking Christmas eps, I think.
One of my what's like a. I do love the Peep Show one.
Oh
Merry
yeah,
Merry Christmas, everyone. Like
everyone.
yeah, I really do enjoy that one.
Cauliflower
Cauliflower
is
is
not.
traditional.
Don't think it is actually.
Put a muzzle on a mark. No, it's I love that
Notice
one.
I'm not saying anything. I'd like the thing is I like the Peep because mostly Christmas specials I feel like it's all like the American sort of crap in it. Like even Love Actually, it's very
Yeah,
Americanized,
like
like their
this, like I'd
Christmas.
say the
Whereas,
schmaltzy thing of like,
yeah.
yeah.
Whereas with Peep Show, I think there's a lot of the reason I think people love that episode so much is that there are a lot of moments where you're like, oh my god, yeah, there's a lot of shit about Christmas. Like the whole thing of like the pressure, like when Dobby comes back round because she's dressed up and Mark's like, oh jeans, like you should have worn a standard woman's British dress or something to dress up smart,
Standard
like
issue British
standard
woman's
issue British
dress,
woman's
yeah.
dress. Like these weird standards for like, well, like because I'm for the first time I'm spending Christmas with Mike's fam, and like normally I'm always with the pedants, but obviously
Yeah.
pandemic. So I was asking Mike loads of questions the other day because you got to figure out people's Christmas, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
I was like, do you have any weird traditions? And I was like, do people dress up nice? And Mike's just being he's just kind of like, no, and like if you
Yeah.
like, and
No,
I'm
but I
like,
know
what?
what you mean. There's like such a
All houses have weird
have different
things.
things. Well, even in like Peep Show, it's like um when putting the turkey on for lunch at what does sorry, so it's like lunch at one, presents, and then a blockbuster to see home or something,
Yeah,
like it's and then Jeremy being like, no, presents first then dinner and stuff, and it's just all very
yeah.
like, say, people have their own way of doing things, don't they? And that the pressure that actually can be quite like, I think there's something as well with Christmas, almost the build up for it's enjoyable, but actual Christmas Day can be quite anticlimactic and
Well, and
stressful.
I finished the day thinking like my digestive system is going to take 5 days to recover from this. I feel absolutely like
Yeah.
I feel disgusting right now. I had to have a
Um,
nap to sleep off everything I've drunk,
right.
and I've woken up feeling disgusting, and I still
Oh
have to go and
yeah.
carry on with Christmas. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously Christmas is, but it is the I do think it is the build up and a lot of the feeling festive.
Yeah, like this, like the watching the Christmas films, watching and things like that is what's enjoyable and things, and
One
then
thing I don't understand that's advertised around Christmas is I've never understood Christmas lingerie, Christmas themed
is that a
lingerie.
thing?
Yeah, like you go past shops and you see stuff advertised of like, oh, wear a little sort of fluffy red Santa looking thing that's sexy. And I can't think of a bigger boner killer like than just something that looks like
I'm a
Santa.
sexy Santa.
Yeah, because does that mean
Yeah,
that you
I
have to
can't.
speak in sort of Christmas
Ho ho
innuendos? Yeah,
ho. Yeah, I don't get that. I've not really know.
I've
I'm gonna
never
see that
understood
everywhere
that.
now.
It's just not a
Okay.
sexy time.
No, it's not. It's not. So you're right.
It's a time
Well,
to feel. Well, it's the time of making making the biggest tit of yourself at a Christmas party possible, which is sad. That's not going to happen this year, and eating so much that you feel quite disgusted with yourself.
I've been doing that
And
all year.
Yo.
lousy with hoot.